So welcome to Swatantra Education. In this lecture, we are going to discuss some concepts that are related to array. Now consider we have one array that contains some double values. So like the elements are 5.3, then 2.1, 3.9 and suppose 4.2. So we can say the index is 0 here, it is 1, 2 and 3, and assume the name of the array is AR. So we know that AR of 0 is 5.3 here, because 5.3 is stored at AR of 0 or at index 0. Similarly, 2.1 is stored at index 1, 3.9 is stored at index 2, 4.2 is stored at index 3. So if we want to write system.out.print AR of 0, so it is going to print 5.3. so similarly, if we write here system.out.print AR of 2, so then it is going to print 3.9, because the value at AR of 2 is 3.9. Now suppose we want to print all the elements that are present in the array, or we can say we want to traverse the array and print all the elements. Then we can use a for loop, and or we can use any loop. Here for loop is preferable because we know the number of iterations. So we can simply write like this: to print all the elements of this array AR, we can write for int I equal to 0, I less than AR dot length, then I plus plus. Then we can write inside the loop system dot out dot print AR of I, then plus some space. This space we are writing here to differentiate between two elements, or to put some space while it prints the elements. So if we write the loop in this way, then it is going to display the elements, like it is going to display 5.3, or the output is like 5.3, then some space, then the next element, that is 2.1, then some space, then next element 3.9, then some space, then the next element 4.2. or we can see the complete program like this here. So here we have written the class test, then public static void main string args. After that we have taken one array AR that contains these values, or the elements are like this: 1.2, 2.3, 5.82, 7.13, 13.76, 9.21. So using the array initializer we have created this array. Now, like we have discussed, we have written the loop, or in particular for loop, to traverse and print all the array elements. So int I equal to 0, I less than AR dot length, I plus plus, then system dot out dot print AR of I, then some space. So now, in addition to this for loop, Java supports a convenient for loop known as for each loop, and using this for each loop we can traverse the array sequentially without using the index variable. Suppose we want to print all the elements in this array AR using for each loop, then how to write? So we can write like this: for, then the type of the array. So here in this particular example the type is double, that's why I am writing double. Then one identifier, so you can take E as the identifier. Then name of the array, so here name of the array is AR, so I am writing here AR. Now you can read in this way: for each element E in AR do some task. So what is the task? We want to print the elements. So system dot out dot print, we want to print E, then plus some space, that means to add some space between two elements. So here we can read the statement like this: for each element E in AR print the value of E. And here please remember the type of this E should be same as the type of the element in AR or in the array. Now if we execute this one, so what will be the output? So it is going to same as the previous one. So like we can consider it is going to display 1.2, so the output is like this: 1.2, then some space, then 2.3, then some space, then 5.82, then some space, then 7.13, then 13.76, then 9.21, like this. So it is going to print all the elements in array AR sequentially, and this loop is called as for each loop. So you can consider this loop while you are dealing with the array or dealing with any array, or if you want to traverse the array sequentially. So you can see the complete program here. So class test, then public static void main, then double AR equal to 1.2, 2.3, 5.82. So these are the elements of the array. Now for double E, then column AR is the name of the array, system dot out dot print E, then some space. So this is the complete program that demonstrate the use of for each loop. So using this for each loop we can traverse the elements of the array sequentially. So now we will see the implementation of for each loop. So we have one array and the name of the array is mylist. So we can write the for each loop like this: for double E, and the name of the array is mylist. So we can write system dot out dot print E, then some space. So save this one, then execute. So it is showing all the elements 1.2, 2.3, 5.82, 7.13, like this. All the array elements present here. Now if we remove this space then what is going to happen? So you can see, so just remove this space, then it is very difficult, so it will become very difficult to identify the elements. So you can see this one. Okay, so it is 1.2 to 3.5, so it is very difficult to distinguish the numbers if we remove the space. So that's why we are giving some space here. So now you can see the output if we give this space. So here you can see the output with space and the output without space. So now we want to discuss another concept, that is variable length argument list. Variable length argument list. That means in Java you can pass variable number of arguments of the same type to a method. That means if we have a method and assume the name of the method is my method. So you can pass variable number of arguments, that is, suppose you want to pass 3 arguments like 3, 4, 5. Then my method can work properly. And if we want to pass 2 arguments, that is 22, then 43, then also the my method is going to work properly. Here we are passing 2 arguments, here we are passing 3 arguments. Or how to write the definition of my method so that it can accept variable number of arguments. So for this we can write like this: public static, and assume the return type is void, then name of the method is my method, and here in the parameter list we can write the type. So here in this particular example the type is int, so we can write int, then 3 dots, then the name. So any identifier name you can give. So assume I am writing AR, then you can write some like statement here. So while a method is going to receive variable number of parameters, in the parameter list you can write in this way to receive the variable number of parameters, that is the type of the parameter or the type of the arguments, then 3 dots, then name. So when we pass variable number of arguments by invoking such method, then one array is created and the arguments are passed to this array. That means when we invoke the method in this way, my method 3, 4, 5, then one array is created and the values 3, 4, 5 are stored in the array. Similarly, when we invoke in this way my method 22, 43, then one array is created and the elements 22, 43 are stored in that array. Then you can see the complete program here. We have written one example like the previous one. So this is class test, then public static void main, double my list. So my list is the name of the array and the elements are 1.2, 2.3, 5.82, 7.13, 13.76, 9.21. then method mylist. So we are invoking the method and we are passing this array mylist to this method. So now when this statement gets executed, the control comes here, and here you can see the parameter like this. The parameter list we are writing double, then 3.ar. That means this method can accept variable number of arguments. So here this AR can receive this mylist, the array mylist, and print the elements that are present in this array using the for each loop that we have discussed just now. Similarly, we can also invoke the method in this way. That means we can pass 4.3, 2.5, 6.87. So we are passing 3 double values, and the method can receive these double values and store that in AR. So when we invoke this method, an array is created and the elements are stored in that array. Now using this for each loop, we are just printing the elements. Similarly, we can invoke this array using 2 arguments, that means 3 and 7.2. So when we invoke in this way, similar to the previous one array is created and the elements are stored in that array, or we can say the arguments are passed to that array. So here you can observe, when we invoke this method or when we invoke the method in this line, how many arguments are there? So here 3 arguments are there. So when we invoke the method in this line, how many arguments are there? 2 arguments are there. So, and here also we are passing one array as argument. So you can pass arrays or variable length arguments to such type of methods. And this is a simple example. So here you can see the implementation of variable length argument list. I have written the program that we have just discussed, and here this method is receiving multiple or variable length parameters. So if we execute this program where like this, java c test.java, because the file name is test here, or test.java. So successfully executed, no error. Then java test. So it is displaying the element like this: 1, 2, 1.2, 2.3, 5.82, 7.13, 13.76, 9.21. That means the elements of this array it is displaying. Now here it is displaying, then it is displaying 4.3, 2.5, 6.87. that means here this one. Then it is displaying 3.07.2, that means these values. So this method executing, or this method accepts variable length parameter list and executes successfully.